Hey, everybody, and welcome to
Ready to Ramble! Let's go! I need to be able to get in that ring any night.
We don't know if we're live because there's just fire.
There's a fireball on the screen. Hey, everybody.
Let's just go.
Welcome to Ready to Ramble here on Talkin' Tuesdays at Hyper RPG. It's the talk show hour, and this is the show where we talk about wrestling.
Oh, did we really name it Talking
Wrestling.
Tuesday? Does it have a name, or
I
did
thought
you
I
just
had missed a lot.
I think
improvise that?
No, I've seen people calling it that. I don't know if it's official. Zach, if you want to make a shirt,
Nah.
Talkin' Tuesday shirt. Guys, I'm Cameron Rice, joined as always.
By Iffy Wadiway, and to my right is...
Sarah the Rebel.
And we have a very special guest with us today. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Janelle Santa Cruz, and I'm very happy to be here. Thanks for
Yeah.
having me, guys. I'm ready to rumble.
Yeah, this is actually the first time I've met Janelle in person. I know her from the Titan
No,
Fights group.
this is a lie. This is
What?
a lie. We have met at the Comedy Store before.
Really?
Yeah, because this is what I think you were doing at the time. You were doing what's the Tournament of Nerds at UCB?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was doing the roast battle.
Yeah.
And we crossed paths and we were talking about doing it, but it was dark. It was one time.
Oh, man.
I remember you because of Danny. and
Oh,
et cetera,
okay.
et cetera.
So
if he's a liar,
I'm
just
a
so you
liar.
know.
I
Well, we
just
knew he
lied
was
to
a
you
liar. I
right
mean,
in
come
your
on.
face, like right away. But
This is going to go well,
You jumped
I can
into
tell.
my heart. You jumped into my heart when you would do those chibi versions of wrestlers.
Oh yeah,
on
I
Twitch.
used to. Well, I still do occasionally. I still do the creative streams on Twitch, but my husband, I just got married a couple months ago.
Congratulations.
You can't
Thank
do
you.
those anymore?
To
well,
a chibi?
Well, the reason I bring him up is because he's an artist, and so I would ask him like, "Can you draw Kevin Owens for me?" And he would take way too long. So I was like, "I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it." So that's what I did, and I just like drew Young Bucks and Kevin Steen and just whatever I wanted, and just marked out that way.
That's great.
God, now I'm gonna be like, hey girl, so can you drop? I want this very specific thing. I want Sasha and Bailey with hearts, like
Well,
kissing.
Someone did another comic. Eric Barnes told me, he's like, can you draw something where Kevin Owens is looking at Kevin Owens and The Rock are admiring each other's bull tattoos.
Brahma
So
bulls?
it's just like
That's so
very
good.
specific requests now, and I'm like, okay, I can make that happen, but it's gonna take me 2 years.
That's fair. That's fair.
Oh, and so speaking, I guess, going old business before we get into the new business, Sarah did win the belt.
I have to dissent. Did you guys look at the list we made?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I re-looked at that list.
Along with the chat.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, maybe I'm crazy. I don't think I
the
won.
belt. You won the belt.
All right, I'm
you
fine.
kicked our asses quite well too. Yeah.
I don't-
For the first few ones, we were like, all right, Sarah won that one, we lost. Sarah won that one, we lost. And then towards the end, I started coming back, but that's when I made my risky picks. And I was already in the black or
That's
in
where
the
you get
red.
it.
Well, the red.
I don't know
Which
what the
one is it?
colors mean. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
and
lie.
the
The
black
green
is
seems
good.
good.
Yeah.
And the red
Is the
is
black
bad.
good?
Yeah, the black is
Black
good.
is always good. Don't be
Black is always
silly.
good, yeah.
Once you go black, you made great investments.
You make great investments.
As you drink your tea. Think about that one.
Thank you for the compliment. I just got a haircut. That's why it looks so good.
Ooh.
I like
That's
it.
a nice line. You can't beat that. When I worked at, we're gonna talk about haircuts real quick. For those who don't know, you just can't beat.
It's been a while. Please
fresh
tell me what
cut.
it used to be like.
Look, every time we would get someone on at midnight that was black, but that was on, they had their own personal barber, and that's when you
Really?
get new goals. You're like, that's what I
That's what I
want.
want.
I want to be able to roll up in the show and bring my barber and just get cut up right before I get on air, because that's when your hair looks the
Yeah.
best.
Well, what happened when you did your guest in on At Midnight?
I went to my barber early in the morning. I couldn't afford to pay her to come, so I had to go to her.
Hey, so I need you to get in the car.
I
Get in the
wonder,
car.
though, I wonder though how many wrestlers like Ty Dillinger or whoever else have actual barbers that are there back there with them.
Ooh,
because there are people that cut the hair.
Yeah.
You can tell when everyone gets a haircut backstage because Kevin Owens goes out there looking fresh. I'm like, Kevin got a haircut.
They do that.
It's usually WrestleMania.
It's funny when they do that with the women. Like you can tell when they got a really good makeup artist that day
Oh,
because
yeah.
all the women come out looking just like fierce as fuck, and then other days it's like, did your best.
Yeah. And the other day it was YouTube tutorials. I was like, all right, I'm gonna follow this.
So on to new business, guys. It is the season finale, season 1 of Ready to Ramble.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have some stuff to talk about, but before we do, Janelle, we always like to ask a guest, what got you into the game?
Oh, I've been watching wrestling since I was a kid at my cousin's house. I must have been like 7 when I want to say it was 7 because 8 because it was 1997 when the first episode of Raw that I remember so vividly was when The Undertaker kidnapped Stephanie McMahon.
Ooh.
And I was just like enthralled, and I was just like, what's going on? What's going to happen to her? And then Stone Cold came out and saved her, and I was like,
yeah.
I want that to be my dad. I want that to be my dad. So I was just like,
I want that
obsessed.
bionic redneck to be my father.
I want that man to protect me forever like that. And yeah, I just being the badass hero and just seeing how much of a soap opera it was. And I believed it was real back. I mean, it's still very much real.
It's real too.
It's
still real to me,
still
damn
real.
it.
No, but I was infatuated. I was in love with it, obsessed, everything, and I would go down to the stores and put 50 cents in the machine to get my little Rock stickers and Stone Cold stickers that I put over my binder and take to school, and so that's sort of just came from a place of passion. And I left or stopped watching it during shortly after the Ruthless Aggression era.
Almost everyone has that dip, and that's where it is.
It's always like there's like that dry period, and then I just came back maybe about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Pipe bomb?
What's that?
Pipe bomb?
No, I wasn't there for the punk stuff. I went back and watched it. Like I appreciate
okay.
punk. I went back and watched all that stuff, but
I didn't go back and watch it.
But no, it was really right before Kevin Steen came into the WWE, before the NXT run, and that's
That's Kevin Owens for any of you who are very new to
sorry,
wrestling.
yeah.
So that's one of the things we try to do is
Yes.
give them a little insight. Kevin Owens was Kevin Steen. El Generico was Sami Zayn. We'll get to anybody else if we get to him.
Yeah.
No, that was yeah. It's so funny because it seems like there has been a resurgence of just this general age group, like about 3-4 years ago, when people were like, "Yeah, I'm gonna jump back in." Because the same thing. Also, the one thing is, I love that everyone usually has like a specific moment that brought him in, because I want to know what happened to the people who saw Triple H have sex in the middle of the ring. Like, what happened to that?
Wait,
What's
no.
their story?
Wasn't that Edge?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I think
Katie
it's
Vick was Triple H.
Yeah.
Who was the guy? Who was the person that's like, what's your first wrestling memory? Oh, the Katie Vick storyline.
Oh my God! Yeah, my roommate. One of my roommates, Mr. Creep, who's another artist on Twitch, but he happens to walk into the room anytime we're watching one of the worst things, like Bob Backlund just with his tooth out and just like going crazy, and I'm like, I swear this is not it. It's not just it.
I had that
What
moment.
I actually said about this Monday. Like, if you just tuned in and watched it, you'd be like, "What the heck is wrestling?"
Well, I had that moment at WrestleMania 30 when it was the divas were still divas, and it wasn't quite women's wrestling yet, where it's just a big battle royal of women rolling around in their underwear. And Elizabeth came to my house, and she's like, "Is this what you watch?" And I'm like, "It's not all this. I swear to God. Just wait till you see the dick.
Is this what you like, huh?
Wait till
What you just said?
I gotta
Wait
get
till
off.
you see the dick.
I was gonna say, wait till you see the Daniel Bryan match.
I thought you said, wait till you see the
I'm
dicks
like,
on
that's
the
a
board.
great song. When do you see my what?
When do you see the
won't
pipe bomb?
never get enough.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God! Mae
Oh, the
Young's
hand baby.
Oh, the hand baby.
Hey, did y'all know? Fun fact. So the Mae Young Classic is coming up, and I don't know if any of you guys have ever researched Mae Young's crazy ass. But
Oh yeah.
first of all,
as one does.
back in like the 40s and 50s, she was picking men up in her Cadillac and beating the shit out of them and robbing them and dropping them on the side of the road.
Mae Young don't care.
I can't
Man,
wait
don't
till
give a
that
food.
storyline comes across
She got
on Glow.
arrested multiple times
For the same thing?
For the same thing, she would rob men a lot.
Beautiful.
Or she would beat them up because they'd say something to her. I'm 98% sure also that she was a lesbian, and I'm not saying that to be funny. I mean, just like all the things kind of line up that way. day too. So it sounds like some guy would be like, "You're real hot," and she'd be like, "How dare you fucking speak to me that way?"
Yeah,
and then beat
she would
the
beat.
shit out
I
of
heard
him.
that she would beat the shit out of people backstage too for just
Oh,
messing around.
I
with
want
them.
her biofilm.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
sounds
Oh my gosh.
fascinating.
That sounds so
She
good.
was,
Yeah,
and
I've
imagine
heard
in the
that.
30s, she was like, "I want to be a wrestler, so let me on the boys wrestling team in high school." And they were like, in the 30s, they were like, "Oh, yep."
Okay.
May Young, the new honey badger.
Yeah.
May
The
Young, new
old
honey
badger, you know what I'm saying? R.I.P. in peace.
Yeah. Oh my God. But so we're stalling a little bit because Raw. Let's talk
let's do
about
it.
Raw. This is that era, everybody. This is that time after WrestleMania when we're kind of just going pay-per-view to pay-per-view. They're all the writers are like, I don't know. We built to Mania. What do we do now? I don't know.
I just want to give y'all a brief summary, okay? It was a talk show, and then a guitar in the ring, and then
I
This
love
Is
the
Your
Drifter.
Life
I'll
segment.
defend the Drifter. I like the Drifter stuff. That's funny. That's bad funny.
I
to
go
And
me.
then
back
there was
and
a little
forth on it.
spoken word segment with Bray and Samoa Joe.
Oh yeah.
Just-
Yeah.
The Bray always has the spoken word moments.
But Samoa joined in, and I think he
Yeah.
would have gotten the 8 from me, and Bray would have gotten the 6. in
It was
the
a
voting.
staller. It was a staller of a Raw, I gotta say.
Yeah.
It's one of those times where they're just kind of like, well, here's the pay-per-view that's coming up. This is a one-on-one match. This is a tag team match. Let's make a 3-way tag, and that'll be the opening of the show, and all this other stuff. The main thing I want to address, because we're going to talk about Alexa Bliss. A lot of people are talking about it. I want to discuss Corey Graves being part of a storyline with Kurt Angle.
I loved it.
I thought that was so dumb. And here's the thing. I have no
You're
problem
wrong.
with commentators. Commentators have done storylines before, obviously. But I can't remember a time. Usually it's like Triple H breaks JR's arm, or Cole and King are going to fight each other, or Dolph Ziggler's going to super kick Jerry Lawler. Never have I ever seen where the commentator's like, I got a text message, I got to go, leaves, and then shows the phone to Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle's like, oh, this could ruin me. And I'm like, and look, wrestling is silly. Wrestling is silly.
Listen.
I was like, and I like Corey Graves. I ain't got nothing against Corey Graves.
I love Corey.
It was just so, it's so strange to think like Stephanie McMahon is sending text to Corey Graves.
Well,
Listen,
here's-
it might not be Stephanie.
Oh, it's
Do we have-
Stephanie.
okay, but first of all, I loved it
Yeah.
because, like you just said, I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
I've never seen before in my
true.
life where they turned to a commentary table and that homie was like, I gotta go. Like, I was like,
Yeah.
what is happening? And then he had a bad day too, because then Cass came up to the commentary table, was just talking smack to him, and he had to be like, listen, I've had a real rough day. I got a text
Yeah.
message. I loved it.
Yeah, Kurt Angle's all like, this is going to ruin me.
But
And I'm
I
like,
guess-
what pictures does Stephanie McMahon
Yo,
have?
dick.
One thing I do like about it, sorry.
Go ahead.
to cut
No,
you
go ahead.
off, is like when you know Corey Graves' story,
Right.
Like seeing him get pulled into kind of the lore
Sure.
of the company, that makes me happy, even if it is a cheesy way. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, for those of you who don't know, like Corey Graves was originally a wrestler, and he had an injury to where he wasn't going to be able to wrestle.
Well, it wasn't
ever
just that
again.
he was a wrestler. He was like one of Triple H's boys. Like, they
Yeah.
were like,
Yeah,
if
he
you
was one
watch
of the
that-
first FCW NXT guys.
If you watch that like ESPN documentary they did like a year or two
Yeah,
ago,
exactly.
Corey
Yeah.
Graves was the focus of it, and like Triple H and Dusty Rhodes and all those guys were like, this can be our next big guy. They were way behind him, and he didn't even get to get out of NXT
Right.
before he got basically the Daniel Bryan news, where it's like, you've had too many concussions, you can't wrestle anymore. And he's been on commentary ever since. And I love Corey Graves.
Yeah.
It's not an anti-Corey Graves thing at all. And I have no problem with them bringing Corey Graves into storylines. I love some of his work. I just feel like a text message that's clearly going to be Stephanie McMahon feels strange.
Once again, we don't know.
Oh,
We
it's gonna
don't
be
know. We've been surprised.
maybe Triple H.
We've been surprised.
My only
as a
concern-
two-time belt holder.
Sorry, I'm cutting in. No, my only concern about it is I kind of see it the same way that I see the Miz and Daniel Bryan thing, where there's not going to be a resolution to it because he cannot.
Yes.
He's not clear.
Which is so
Ah,
strange
that's
because
a
the
good
Miz
point.
still does, even on last night on Raw, he's kicking Dean Ambrose and he's doing Daniel Bryan mocking stuff, and it's like, this storyline's not going to have a resolution.
Yeah,
Unless
and
Daniel
that's-
Bryan fires him.
Exactly.
It's kayfabe fires him.
Well, I feel like also we've kind of left that old school kind of mouthpiece wrestling storylines where like you didn't need to wrestle because you would champion someone and you would be able to have that be kind of your hitman. And I feel like we kind of escaped that a bit. Like everyone wrestles and everyone's their own mouthpiece besides Brock Lesnar because
Right.
someone needs to murder you if you hand him a mic. So they hired Paul Heyman. They were like, this guy is so bad on the mic. Let's get the best person on the mic to talk for him.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like back in the day you had those like feuds where like, and I felt like that was kind of the celebrity thing where you bring in the celebrity and someone would try and attack them, and then like a wrestler would come, and then the celebrity would champion that wrestler, and you get the great mouthpiece because they're an actor, and then like you would feel fulfilled in seeing that fight because they've earned it. But I feel like since we don't do that as much, we can't expect that to happen. But I hope they do.
I just think it was different and interesting, and I was happy to see them try something new. And they left it a mystery, which I was so proud of. Normally they wrap things up at the end of the show, and you're like, this was the solution. But now I'm like, no, who was it? What happened?
I guess, and it's possibly just I'm too cynical. I think of like old wrestling mysteries that always turned into halfway through, oh, we couldn't finish it. It's Ric Flair. Ric Flair was doing this the whole time. And you're like, what? They just like, and it turns out, oh, well, they fired Flair, and then they brought him back, and they're like, well, we got him back. Oh, well, here you go. And that's the thing with WWE, which I think is going to bring me into a story that, remember how Rusev was all about, like, I want a title match at Money in the Bank. If I don't get a title match, I'm going to quit. And they were building up. Rusev's going to have a title match at Money in the Bank. Well, now that Jinder Mahal has the title, they have no plans for Rusev for the next couple months. And he's not going to be on Money in the Bank. He hasn't been mentioned on television since. And that's WWE's thing is like, if we don't mention it, people will forget.
People will totally forget.
Poor Rusev, man, because he's so good.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he got that stupid haircut, and it was all downhill from there. You can't get a haircut.
Don't talk about handsome Rusev like that, okay?
You can't you're
above the handsome. You're on the handsome Rusev train.
I'm all about handsome Rusev and Rusev the Ruler. I'm all about it. I follow him on Twitter. He's hilarious. You need to follow him on Twitter.
He's a very funny. Yeah, he's a very funny tweeter.
I love that man. And then he got that real bad haircut, and we ain't seen him.
Can we get a good look at this this haircut? Oh,
I don't even know what number error that is.
There we go.
There it is.
Listen, he just needs someone to shape the beard because you can get a haircut like that. He's trying for the CM Punk haircut.
I like the weird
short
beard
and
he
then
had
cool
going
on the back.
Oh man, yeah, this looks like
looks
a boy who's like, "Hey, buddy,
Let me
I
tell you
got
about
a
this
club."
coffee.
We've been approached by the same man with a different hustle.
He just needs someone to shape the beard.
Oh, Camp's coming in.
I like Rusev.
By the way,
I love Rusev.
Rusev haircut edition.
It is. I want to address the thing Kalendros just said in the chat, though. I do. Number one.
Probably
that's
McMahon.
true. Sarah
I'm sure
did
Vince
mention.
McMahon does.
Well, that's the thing. McMahon, from my understanding, McMahon was upset because they
Backstage heat for his hair?
they didn't. He wasn't asked. McMahon did not give permission. Like Rusev just did it. And let's be honest, we all know McMahon. If he could do a hair versus hair match, he'll do it.
Yeah.
If he hears,
that's what he's mad about. He's like, we didn't get to do our hair versus hair match, and you cut it because we could have set that up.
I want to put you in a feud with Enzo.
This is
another one.
I've seen that. Yeah, no, I've seen that one before. Sylvester LaFour.
But speaking of like blank versus blank match, I want to talk about the most disappointing blank versus blank match that I still haven't gotten over. But it was the remove the mask match with Mankind versus Kane. And I was so mad because I was like, well, there's no way that Mankind can lose this because we know what he looks like. We know what he looks like.
Jack.
We've seen Cactus Jack by now. We know he's Mick Foley. There's no way. So we're finally going to see Kane. We're going to do it. And boy, was Young Iffy so ready to see Kane's face. Yeah, I got swerved so hard, and I'm still to this day so salty about it. It's like, why would you let him lose? We know what his face looks like. We know what his face
Still a mess.
Yeah.
I want to address what Kalendros said a little bit ago. It's a shame we can't get Heyman to talk for Nakamura. I've been saying this ever since Nakamura has gotten on there. I think he should not be speaking.
I disagree. I think he's so great. Like, remember when he was against Alex Riley and he made that funny, like,
I don't remember that at all.
Rage. Well, no one remembers Alex Riley for good reason.
I'm like, I don't even know what that man is.
Especially John Cena.
But it was the only reason why I bring it up is because it's when Nakamura first came in, and that's what set him apart to me from everybody else was just his ability to be weird, and it just comes across as like cool, as and charismatic, where he's like rage and he's like doing like a weird thing with his hands, and it just walks off screen, and like that's all he has. His entire promo against Alex Riley was like rage and a weird hand thing, and then walked away. And I was like, oh, that's awesome because it's different, like you said, because sometimes I like some things because they're different, but I don't think he should have a mouthpiece. Personally, I don't think.
I feel like he's so charismatic. Like, I love Brock, but Brock is he's almost like anti-charisma, and that's kind of what makes him work in a weird way. He's like the Terminator from Terminator 1 Schwarzenegger, where there's nothing there, and so he's kind of like a weird shark man kind of a thing. So you want to give him Paul Heyman?
As a boulder. She's in love with him. She's like, he's like a big sexy boulder
with cauliflower ear. Whereas Nakamura has so much personality that I don't know who's the, because that was the thing, is like, but you can have mouthpieces with personality. I mean, Bobby Heenan and Mr. Perfect work so well together, so it could work. I just don't think Paul Heyman would be the guy. I don't know who you would pair him up with.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of an American speaking for foreigners in one way, because it gives some sort of the idea that these foreigners can't communicate, and I sometimes like when they talk in their own languages. Me as a Mexican,
I would rather hear that.
I would rather hear that.
I would rather have a translator.
I love watching Naito cut promos in New Japan. Like, he's excellent, and sometimes I don't know what he's saying, but it's awesome, and it's great. So and maybe Sarah, maybe that's what you would like is if he was cutting his promos actually in Japanese.
Because what we get instead is like, for you, you're like, oh, he's so charismatic. For me, I'm like, you look weird as like, you look shitty ass weird, dude. What is the gimmick? You know, and he's like Calendro said again, he's cutting them against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and AJ Styles. Like, that's not gonna fly.
And actually, like, because when we first talked about it, I was like, yeah, I do take that. I don't know why I thought I would, because I was one of the guys who was like, give him Paul Heyman. But then when we got to the second part, that's why. Because one, the fact that Paul Heyman in this lore would mean he understands Japanese is hilarious to me. But also, like, there's just something, because I feel like there's this energy to Nakamura that's kind of like he is the thesis of my constantly used statement that wrestling is anime. Like, he is like,
yes, it is.
So, like, to see like someone who kind of has that kind of like, he reminds me of Iori from King of Fighters, with that kind of like slump, and but he still has the jacket, and like to have like this, like him have that darkness of just like saying shit, and then like Paul Heyman like translating it would be cool. But I do think you make a good point where like having just that basically be Americanized by like, here's a white dude telling you what this weird foreigner is saying.
Well, now that gives me an even cooler idea. Normally in anime, a character like Nakamura is not the main character. There's a main character who is a boring everyday man, and then that guy is the cool superhero guy that looks up to him.
Right.
So what he needs is a manager who is embarrassed and confused all the time.
I like that. There you go.
Turns out to be this guy.
Right.
That'd be awesome.
There we go. We fixed it. Thanks, anime.
So Sarah, talk about this Alexa Bliss.
Oh my fucking God. Okay, so listen. Y'all know I love Alexa Bliss. For any of you, again, we always, if you just come in, Alexa Bliss is somebody who came from, believe, the gymnast world. She surprised everyone by being really great at what she does. She's gotten better and better in the ring all the time.
Very good on the mic.
She's amazing on the mic. Her makeup is flawless.
And crowd control. I think that's something that's worth pointing out. Even like, I love Charlotte. Charlotte had a little issue with that when she came up to the main roster. A little issue getting the crowd to listen to her. Alexa picked it up real quick.
She went to that Stephanie McMahon school of shut up, I'm talking, and it's been wonderful to watch.
Yeah.
And then
Alexa,
she did a This Is Your Life segment. Now, we're just going to run through all the things. Number one, Charlotte has already done this to Bayley. So first and foremost, the idea that we had a superstar shakeup and now we have forgotten everything that happened before, that's really weird. It just happened pretty recently. We all get why we're supposed to think that Bayley's a loser. We got it. Number two, from start to finish, there were no actual jokes in the This Is Your Life segment, which was supposed to be kind of over the top and, Bayley's such a nerd, she actually likes WWE. Okay, did you just dismiss your own product? Bayley's such a nerd, her dad went to school with her and also went on her dates with her. Okay, were you implying something really creepy there? Bayley's such a nerd that her ex-boyfriend from childhood is now making out with an ex-friend from childhood. They all flew over from San Jose, I guess. And
that was a little odd.
And then this entire segment was so long we could have had 2 women's matches during the amount of time.
There is, and I gotta give credit to What Culture. If any of you watching don't watch What Culture's wrestling YouTube stuff, it's great. They talked about the problem so far Bayley's had on the coming up to the main roster, and they're saying it's not Bayley, it's not her at all. It's the writing, and the fact that the writing is literally, and this is the difference between NXT, where it's Triple H and his guys, and then when they move him up to the main roster, and it's a different set of writers. Triple H might be able to come in and have a little say, but for the most part, different writers than Vince. That they literally treat Bayley as if she is a child.
Yes.
Like she's a literal child.
I don't like that.
They
Like,
talk about how she's
you ain't been
pouty
in
and this,
school?
that, and
She's
the
never
other.
kissed a boy.
And like when Alexa won the belt, and Alexa won the belt, and the whole segment where Alexa's going through, they had Bayley like with her arms crossed, pouting and all this other stuff, and I'm like, children like Bayley, she's enthusiastic and she's genuine, but that doesn't mean she's actually a child.
Right.
No one says John Cena's a kid.
Right.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's an issue. I frankly I hope Bayley moves to SmackDown soon. I feel like because the for those of you who don't know, the reason I think SmackDown's been for the most part very successful compared to Raw is the main writer of SmackDown used to be the main writer of NXT 3 years ago. It's that guy who's now doing SmackDown. I think that's why SmackDown's been pretty bomb the past couple months. Is those kinds of things. Ooh, you want to answer a Raw survey?
No.
How was it?
Rating
Not
one.
great.
Give it a 1 right now. Do it for me.
1.
One. We're not gonna submit
What
it,
was
but
the
they
best
know.
non-wrestling segment from Raw?
Oh, the guitar.
No! Oh, the Drifter's great.
And
the Drifter's
ends up being dead again.
That man can't sing.
I don't care. The Drifter plays in the
part of the
good
game.
Why
cheese.
is that everyone's reaction when I say that?
Oh.
I don't care that he can't sing.
Because it's great cheese. It's like he's the honky tonk man, but he's from the '90s, and that's even too
But he's
late.
really
The
bad.
worst- I think
Alexa.
I think we
Definitely.
are.
Yeah, that was surprising to see Enzo down in the exact same situation a second time. I was kind of shocked. It was like, did you guys notice that Enzo got knocked out that last time? Just in case you didn't, we're just gonna do it again. Normally they'll just play the video a second time.
Yeah.
I did enjoy that some people were all saying they hoped it would be, don't knock that over. They were hoping it would be Big Cass, right? That's what people were saying online.
Right.
And I'm wondering if WWE just straight up was like, let's try to mess with that a little bit.
The question was, what was the worst match from Raw? And I selected other. I just want to say that Alexa Bliss segment.
Would you rate commentator's performance?
Give Booker T a 1 as well while you're down there. It's like having
I
your
love
uncle
Booker T. It is that.
No, he just says crazy stuff out his mouth, and when he's called on it, he just gives that uncle laugh.
Well, what was the thing like during the Alexa Bliss
Shucky ducky.
segment? Booker T actually went like, "This is hard to listen to."
Oh yeah, no, everyone was like to retweet.
Oh, poor Alexa Bliss.
Who-
So yeah, it was a rough Raw. And it's. I'll admit I might have stopped watching some of it too. Were there any Goldust segments?
Yes. Oh, it was so good. Okay,
Yes.
that was the
Okay.
highlight of it. So Goldust did his segment, which we all expect
I love
that to be good.
Yeah, I love that they're bringing back old Goldust. It's also interesting that they're bringing back old Goldust because there was a lot of gay panic
Yes.
in the old Goldust.
And I hope
Yeah.
it comes all the way back. Anyway, so he does this thing. He's a director. He wants everything to be gold. He has this dope music playing. It's pretty great, but we expect that from Goldust. Then they cut away to some like cool 70s blaxploitation music, and you're like, oh no, R-Truth is gonna do something. And it cuts to R-Truth in the director's chair. But we were all so wrong because
Yep.
R-Truth utterly decimated that promo. It was so good. He mentioned Dolomite. He mentioned like Shaft. He brought the
Julius, right? From Pulp Fiction?
from
What's
Pulp
Ju-
Fiction.
yeah.
He was quoting Pulp Fiction, but he brought what Goldust was saying down to an understandable level of being like, this is what movies mean to me, and this is why they're going to influence me to fight you. Whereas Goldust is all just like,
Yeah.
golden. It was so good.
It was pretty. Yeah, I had a feeling of nostalgia when I was watching that because I was like, that's what I remember. You know, the weird ass Goldust back in the day where
He used
he
to
was,
rub on Razor Ramon,
like,
and Razor Ramon was like, ugh, and Razor Ramon was the face.
Yeah, I know, right? And this goes right into this tweet by Cody Rhodes when Gifted and Twisted said, I don't know what Goldust means when he says he's back to his golden age because hasn't Goldust always been a jobber? Hashtag LOL. Retweeted by Cody Rhodes, who says 3-time Intercontinental Champ, 3-time World Tag Team Champ, replace Jobber with future Hall of Famer and kiss my ass while you're at it. Cody Rhodes,
American
still in there,
Nightmare.
still taking shots.
Oh yeah,
That's
all about
his
his brother.
brother.
I know it's
We don't
family.
talk
and
about
I
my
can
big
only
brother like
imagine-
that.
Yeah, I can only imagine they're closer now.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
were not watching wrestling in the '90s, I mean, there's no way to explain how truly Goldust was like one of the hottest things in that era, in that mid '90s, late Razor Ramon, early Bret Hart era. Goldust was on Conan O'Brien. before like Stone Cold and The Rock and all those guys ever made late night appearances. That's huge. People, I think, forget how big Goldust truly was.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was a big deal. In fact,
I mean, I didn't know he was on the. Yeah,
to the point where my old co-host on my other show tomorrow always said, "Hey, when you do wrestle, if you need a gimmick, you should just be like female pervy Goldust and just freak people out like every time you wrestle them." Like
it's a legit scary good gimmick. Like if you're thinking about psychologically how you're gonna psych out. Oh, I do remember this.
Yeah,
okay,
this is
I do
my
remember.
favorite wrestler since we brought up wrestler
Yeah.
late night appearances.
Okay.
This is the best
Thank
because
you.
not only is it the best wrestler on late night, but it's the best late night show in the 90s, in my opinion.
I love that show.
So let's roll the
Synergy.
tape. Right.
okay, don't get us taken down again. Then.
Well, this is Arsenio Hall. He is definitely not going to be watching YouTube. I can guarantee you that much. I'm gonna skip around to like the good parts.
1992.
Yeah, 1992. Just
I was a
by the
wee
way,
bairn.
remember this is like a majority black people watching this, and like so this is how we viewed white people for a long time.
Thanks.
Like, all white
Thanks.
people are like
Giant gold belt.
Yeah.
Well, this explains a lot of racial tension. in the 90s.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The white people with their gold belts.
He's in the danger zone.
Yes, indeed. You know, speaking of the danger zone, they told me you wouldn't like this, but
So you did it anyway.
no, but this is
Uh-huh.
it's the Ultimate Warrior doll.
Right.
And is it outselling your doll? Is that
Not
what
at all.
What the?
okay.
Ooh, baldy out.
No, I just wondered.
you lucky I
Somebody,
love you.
I didn't get the proper information.
Right, you didn't. No.
It's not outselling your doll.
I didn't say that either. I'm just saying that I'm too hot to handle, too cold to hold, and whatever this guy here is, he's going to have to face me at Wembley Stadium in front of 83,000 people, and he's going to get beat, because I'm the champion and he's not.
This black audience is like, what?
All right, yeah. The thing that I love about it is because this was when wrestling was real. Like, so, like, he didn't, like, you see John, if you see John Cena on Kimmel, he's going to be John Cena,
Right.
the wrestler slash
Actor,
But,
comedic
like,
guy.
Randy Savage was Randy Savage, the character on that show. Like, the fact he wouldn't even touch the Ultimate Warrior's toy. Like, he wouldn't even touch it. He was like, I'm too hot to handle, too cold to hold. Like,
I love Macho Man stories. There's some of my favorite stories. If anyone, the classic WrestleMania 10 match between Scott Hall and Shawn Michaels, the ladder match, is considered one of the best matches of all time, let alone maybe one of the best WrestleMania matches of all time. They went longer than they were supposed to. And the story is Randy Savage went up to them after and said, "That was a hell of a match, but you're selfish. You're both selfish. You took time from other matches." Because that was Randy Savage.
oh my God.
Somebody said, "What would he do if he wasn't a wrestler?" And I think he definitely would have worked at like in a truck shop or a convenience store. Like those people
Well, he
who
was-
taught you,
he
you
still
get a
would've
little
been a
uncomfortable.
I think he would have been like he. For those of you who don't know, Randy Savage was like a former pro baseball player. Like he was a big time. He
Ah.
probably would have worn a sports show.
That's why his booty's so nice.
Or
Yeah.
I imagine he's that guy in that like sports nutrition shop who really is selling
Yeah.
on their
Real
product.
protein
Like, look,
shake.
brother, you're just gonna have to know those other proteins right there. They got all that filler. This has the proteins, just pure from the stuff. No lactose, nothing like that, brother.
Straight from the cow.
Straight from the cow, straight from the cream.
Do you think this performance and seeing how black audiences reacted to him made him go like, I gotta make a rap album?
Good.
This was the seed.
Album. And it was
Yeah, he was like,
good.
"Ooh,
They're into me.
yeah, these people like me. It's time for some rap."
If you've never heard the Macho Man Randy
Better
Savage,
than our truth.
Yeah, I love.
you can pull up a half second of it if you want.
I have
Be
not
a
heard it.
manhole.
You haven't heard it?
It's
No.
He has that Hulk Hogan.
I'm, like,
diss
embarrassed 'cause I'm like,
on his
I
arm.
have not heard it.
It's honestly so much better than every other wrestler rapper gimmick I've ever heard, and we've had a few of them.
Yeah.
oh my God, it's called Be a Man.
Yeah, I forgot the cover.
We're definitely getting this taken.
Hollywood Hulkster, whatever they call you, I'm coming after you, you coward.
Yeah, yeah.
All didn't show. Hollywood Hulkster, you're at the end of your rope, and I'ma kick you in the butt and wash your mouth out with soap. Rodney Dangerfield, you get no respect. So come on, Hulk, your movie's
Good enough.
I know.
Oh my God!
Guys,
so
go
y'all,
listen to it.
All right, actually, if Snarky 1982 was able to have this whole song up, I think we're okay.
Yeah, okay, when Snikey hits us with that
He's like, hey,
Conrad ID.
I'm Randy Savage's son. That's my dad.
How dare you? How dare you, brother?
No, and make fun of my
Savage
name.
State.
Who I am.
That'd be real savage.
Oh, man, yeah. I see what you
Dun,
did
dun,
there.
dun.
That's good.
So let's talk about some good things from Raw, which there were at least two.
Outside of Goldust?
Yeah, outside of Goldust and R-Truth, we had a good match. I remember what the match was. Oh, I do remember what the match was. It was Bray, Samoa Joe, and Finn Balor. They had a three-way. Not that kind of three-way. You know what I'm saying?
I feel bad because I totally did think that for a hot second.
But I kind of ship Samoa
Yeah.
Joe and Bray now that I've watched this match because they had moments where they were like, after you. And I know they were just doing that, but like, I had a moment where it was just like, well,
They're
that's a
so
love story.
kind to each other.
I always fall in love, okay? It's who I am.
Skanky Popo.
But what was interesting? Oh, sorry guys, we're real distracted by the chat. What was interesting about it was that they had Bray lose yet again. Bray can't win.
That guy
He
cannot
never-
win.
Never
Bray.
gets to win.
Someone's going to write a fantastic college paper about the misuse of Bray Wyatt.
Maybe I'll write it.
Gosh. Yeah, that this man
20
needs
bucks.
to
Yep.
like. But the thing that makes me mad is how much they tease us because they'll
Yes.
get a win and you're like, all right, now they're gonna start letting them win. They're just gonna,
Yeah.
and then he loses again.
Where's Bray's Rocket? Like there was a show at the Staples Center here in LA that I went to where it was the one where Roman and Bray were tagged in the main event. I don't remember who they were against,
Oh,
but it was
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
It was so good. Everybody was behind Bray, shouting for him, and he got the pin, and it was awesome. And I was like, now's Bray's time.
Bray got a
for
big
the fourth
pop.
time in my life, going, yeah, now it's Bray's time. And then again, they like.
Well,
just
Bray
shit
got a
on him.
huge pop when he won the belt.
Yep.
Yeah.
People were like,
They were
finally.
Yeah.
deserving it
Yeah,
to a heel.
I was so happy
Yeah.
with Kevin Owens and Bray were champs. That was so cool. That was really, really cool.
This is the downside of there being no WCW. Is Bray Wyatt's like the guy who would suddenly show up on Nitro.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
they'd be like, oh, what's he doing here?
What's he gonna do? Go to Impact?
I agree with you, Walmart Slayer. I think Samoa Joe and Bray Wyatt, these big monstrous guys, just like Braun Strowman. Well, Braun Strowman also suffers from this. Like, you need to be winning to be scary,
Yeah.
and it's just not. It's not cool.
They have
and
him
he's
lose
not
to Roman
scary.
in preparation for his big match against Roman. It makes zero sense.
Okay,
it's
so
all
actually,
weird.
I got breaking news. I got actual photo of WWE hearing all of the fans' complaints about Bray Wyatt. They're doing their best to listen to our complaints, and this is them, listening back to the tape where the fans chanted, "You deserve it." Hopefully, so we shall see. We shall see. We can only hope.
Yeah.
We can only hope.
Oh,
Why
my
are we being
goodness.
tortured this way?
I hate how much I like Bray Wyatt. Like, I hate how much
I
I
know.
mark out for him,
Yes.
and how much I want to see him succeed.
Yeah.
Because
His
it's
dirty
like,
pants.
yeah, it's like when when you're a nerd like me in high school and you see that like hot cheerleader, and you're this is going down a dark path, and you're like, I'm not, like, she dates jocks. She doesn't date the guy who plays Yu-Gi-Oh in the cafeteria. She wants the jock, but I want it. It doesn't make me want it any less.
Your analogy, right? Just like when Bray did his speech about the Beast, I'm confused about who the cheerleader is. It's fine. We're gonna move
The
past
twists and
it.
turns. The twists and
I
turns.
am happy at least that it was Samoa Joe who defeated Bray instead of
Yes.
Finn. That puts things up in the air. I think for this 5-way, I'm pretty sure Roman's gonna win because that's what my life is.
Yeah.
But if we pretend for a moment that things make sense, I could go for any of these dudes winning. We had Paul Heyman putting over Finn. We have Samoa Joe as the hot new bad guy. We have Bray Wyatt as the proven champion, supposedly. Like, any of these guys could take it. But we know Roman's gonna, but there's a chance.
And what was the other thing you liked about Raw?
The last match of the night, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns put on a pretty good match.
Yeah.
It was a
agree.
little distracting because Roman in that vest just always looks really silly when he takes certain hits to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
they got to lose that vest.
Well, yeah, we got to find out what the science
the
is.
deal?
He can't
The deal is that he said previously that it just is what they decided is going to set him apart from everybody else. So that's why they
Oh,
keep.
word.
Yeah,
That's
that's it.
the
So
thing.
But 3 years later, you still can't be Shield Jr.
Yeah.
Like, it's
I
getting
agree.
to the point.
I totally agree. Yeah, and I don't know why they continue to do it, but
Ugh.
I mean, that's the second like weirdest thing on someone's body.
I want to circle back to that real quick, but I do want to say before I forget, there were 3 Phoenix splashes on Monday Night Raw. That's weird. Okay,
a lot of
what
Phoenix
is
splashes.
the first weirdest thing on someone's body?
Dean Ambrose not taking off his damn shirt.
He's fat. Let him live.
No, like I've seen some
He's
pics where like
thinner.
it lifts up and he's not that bad.
No.
he just lost because he lost a lot of weight changing his workout regimen. So after he left the Shield, he started working out like in the desert and became slimmer, and his body
Did you say
shape.
in the desert?
Yeah, he works out in the
Yeah.
desert in Las Vegas outside of, and then so yes he does, and so his body changed and
Trying to
so
dig up bodies
he's
the
not a
mafia
big, bulky
buried
guy,
40 years ago.
big Roman guy anymore because he used to be bigger than Roman. If you
Yeah,
go
he
back,
did.
he was bigger than Roman, so that's why they keep a shirt on him because they hide the fact that he's quote unquote scrawny as far as WWE is concerned.
Yeah.
you know.
Put a shirt on him.
But
wanna go
because
train
there's
in
been
the-
a couple of times where
I'm
he's
gonna
taken
pee
where
out.
his shirt has come off, or it's like a cape, things like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And then you notice it's a little different from what
I
it used
love
to look
when
like.
shirts
yeah.
are just ponchos for WWE.
What is
They're
this,
like,
a
I don't
cape?
even need any sleeves. Just whatever. It's hanging on me
But you
still.
don't
like
like
what
the
Cass
drifter.
does, where it's just
Yeah.
like
I love it.
two flaps.
Cass is just like, why bother? You know I don't fit in this shirt.
Why
I love
even?
how hard Cam stands for the drifter. Like, he's like,
Do you want to talk about your feelings of the drifter?
I think he's great. I just think he's,
Luke Harper's
I
shirt.
think he's great. He's a goofy character. and
I
love
loved
it.
that the jobber he beat
like
up
it.
was forming shapes during that. Every time he got beat up, he was in a new shape. He was in a C. He was in an N.
He was selling. He was selling.
the
Stone
cr-
Cold
He was
would
like,
be all
I'm gonna
about
be the
that.
next Ellsworth. You watch.
here's something I want to bring up. I hope I can find it because we actually discussed this. I feel a week ago where Breezango. We don't know
What they're doing?
like we don't know if they're going to continue. But then I saw this article
excellent.
about how Breezango is changing the tag team division from like a sports site. So I'm like,
Yes, I think I saw that too.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, we can talk a lot of smack about the different things that they do in the WWE, but they are getting in the news. Like having Jinder win, for example. So many sites were writing about wrestling because that
Yeah.
was a weird, strange thing. Even though I was like, when that happened, I was like, what are they going to do? Play Bhangra? And then they had a Bhangra team come out. And I was like, oh, they were. Yes.
Yep.
That is
yeah,
what they're
yeah.
gonna
The
do.
Rolling Stone wrote an article about it. Breezango, the WWE tag team that's making wrestling fun again.
I'm sorry, did you miss the New Day? But whatever. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
then sure.
exactly.
It's Rolling Stone. It's 60-year-old white men.
That's what I was gonna say.
those
Pretty
black
sure we
guys
know
coming
why.
out preaching,
Coming out preaching.
Preaching.
Haven't watched it in a
Talking
while.
about positivity.
I had to turn the TV right off. Now these two young, strapping males with their mops.
They are
Rolling
strapping.
Stone has also done a similar article on Dalton Castle not that long ago.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Yes. So feeding again into the white men. But
Don't feed the white man after midnight. Everybody knows that.
Oh, here's the one thing no one I think will agree with.
I did.
Actually, all right, I would agree with, but I'm curious. So India is their third biggest market. It's
really?
got basically Attitude Era numbers right now in India.
Holy shit!
Well,
I
do you-
did not know that.
India's gigantic.
So that's why
Yeah.
they push Jinder Mahal. Now, my question with it from a business side of things is it worth the bump? You already have this huge audience in India without an Indian superstar.
Yeah.
Are you getting a big enough bump that the lack of sales in America, because they undersold at least 9,000 seats in the stadium for that pay-per-view.
Oh, wow.
So is that balancing? Is that going to balance? I think that's the only place where I'm like, this might not be smart business. But other than that, yeah, like, I mean, it makes sense to give an audience that's really hot to give them somebody to root for. I just wish this homie had some moves that looked impressive because a top wrist lock.
Did you see his Instagram video of him working out? That was impressive.
He looks disgusting.
Or he was in beast mode.
He was about to pop right on out his chest.
He's always talking about he's like, no one diets harder than I do, but it's also like,
My other favorite thing is like,
Snapchat is just meal prep. I follow it.
My favorite thing is him being like, show me any of the other boys who have veins in their stomach. I'm like, no, that's okay.
Yeah, that's good.
I was attracted to him. There was a point in between this Jinder and old Jinder where he became attractive to me when he was wearing the turban only because his head
He
is
was
funny.
going down a well. You
Right.
found him halfway there and he kept
and
going.
then it got bad. It got real bad.
Oh, my goodness.
They zoomed in on his back at one point, and I was like, yeah, maybe I do have to agree with this steroid
Yeah, Dave Meltzer even
allegation.
called him out, and that's Meltzer.
Yeah.
well, yeah.
Ooh.
But I
Feels
think
bad, man.
what they're doing is interesting. I don't know. I'm still confused as their whole like, let's get heat by having a Punjabi celebration, and then everyone was like, "This is awesome."
Yeah. What is?
So-
I don't understand that thinking at all. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just an old thing that they rely on is like anything international or anything foreign, any celebration is going to make the audience hate that person.
Yeah.
So why is a celebration of your culture going to make everybody hate you? I don't
Well,
understand
Right. A
that.
few
Just
people even
reminds
said
me-
it. They were like, "I'm not going to hate
Yeah.
this. It's
Yeah, it's
beautiful."
cool.
I think it reminds me of that episode of It's Always Sunny when they were doing the wrestling match for Memorial Day, and like they were the Americans, and then they tried to make like the Middle Eastern guy seem like the bad guy, and everyone hated them. Like, that's what it feels like. It's like
I think the audience has changed enough where like most people don't want to be racist. Even if they
Yeah.
are, they get mad, right? They're like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not racist.
Don't make me
trying
feel
not to be.
racist.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it doesn't really work with our audience nowadays. Even if they are like that, they don't want to feel that they're like that.
Yeah.
So it's weird. I don't know if what they're doing, if they're maybe playing this kind of mid role because they want India to like him so much that they're like, well, he can't be a real heel.
Right.
Like, I don't know what's going on there. It's,
Or,
it's
yeah, they're
weird.
like towing that gray line for some
Yeah.
reason, and because what do you expect Indian children to think when they see it? Do
Yeah.
you want them? What is your desired reaction from that market? Do you want them to hate this man, like you expect your American audience to hate, or do
Yeah.
you want them to love him as they do currently because
Yeah.
he's a representative?
I mean, the best thing they can do is like Bret Hart. When Bret Hart was like anti-American, and then when he went to Canada, he was like the biggest face.
Yeah.
And they didn't change the writing or anything. It was just that like he went to a different country, and suddenly people were like, "You're the best."
Yeah.
And I think that's maybe what they're hoping for Jinder. But Bret Hart had almost a decade plus under his
Yeah.
belt in the company.
That's the only thing about Jinder that's still getting me is he's still in the ring. To
Yeah.
me, comes off as a jobber. He
Yeah.
doesn't excite
Yeah.
me. He doesn't tell a story
true.
with his moves. So anyway, guys, we talked a lot. We rambled.
We
which
got
is
to
great.
wrap. Yeah. We wrapped it up. But like we said, this is the season finale.
Season finale,
of this season.
season 1.
But unlike a lot
Dun,
of the
dun,
season
dun.
finales, this show will continue starting next week with season 2.
Season 2.
But there are some changes, and you know,
So do y'all remember that episode of Space Cases where the girl had the imaginary best friend and nobody thought she was real, but then one day they got in that accident and then the best friend came through and then the rainbow-haired girl disappeared into that other dimension where the best friend was all the time?
What a pool, man. What
Okay,
a
that's
pool.
what's about to happen. So I just wanted you to brace yourselves.
I was gonna go with the Fresh Prince analogy.
Oh, okay, go ahead. What
you-
was your
no,
analogy?
No. You don't remember Fresh Prince when they
No.
switched out the moms?
Oh, the moms.
When the
Yeah,
lights
yeah,
go
yeah.
on?
Yeah.
But that was more of a secret.
And also, first mom still talks shit about Fresh Prince.
Oh yeah. Oh, First
Yeah.
Mom is not happy.
Nobody will notice.
Oh, first mom.
But yeah, I'll let Sarah take the floor.
Yeah, so this is my last official episode as a co-host. It doesn't mean I won't ever come back and visit, but I am no longer going to be your third host on Ready to Ramble. But you are getting someone just as freaking awesome. And maybe a little more because she has glitter on her eyes, and I'm like, damn, girl, that's fly. I've been staring at them all night.
Yes.
Aw.
Yes, Janelle will be taking over as the new co-host, but you know Sarah's always welcome back, and you haven't seen the last of her. She's
Oh, yeah,
like,
no.
It's gonna be
Seen the
really,
last
really hard shoes to fill because look, I can't even. How can I
Listen,
compete
my
with
shoes
this
are like a
haircut?
size 4 in men's. You can't fill them no matter what.
It's true. And this is why
Same actually.
Wait, we got that shit.
this is why we didn't give Sarah the belt. She would have Alunda blaze that, and drop it in a trash can, and someone
Throw
would
it
show.
somewhere.
She spray painted her name over the belt.
But you guys can still catch me on Women Wrestling
Yeah.
Friends and some other places, including tonight. I'm going to be on AfterBuzz TV on the SmackDown after show. So
Oh, hell yeah.
you'll see me around.
So that'd be great. And guys, so we also have a favor to ask of you. Because season 2 is starting off, if you guys can let people know about the show, we want to get word out to other wrestling fans or other people who maybe are not big into wrestling. If you have people in your life who maybe used to watch, maybe the pipe bomb didn't bring them back.
That's like the 5th time you brought up the pipe bomb.
I love the
this
pipe bomb.
episode.
I love the pipe bomb almost as much as I love the drifter.
Talk about your taste.
Totally comparable things.
Only
Totally
almost.
comparable things.
Only almost. But yeah, let people know. That'd be really appreciative because we love the show. We love doing the show. We want to keep doing the show. And that's a big part of you guys and other viewers and bringing in new people. So that'd be great. That'd be awesome. But Sarah, since you are leaving us, you have to give the homework.
God damn it. That's a bullshit. Go look up whatever the pipe bomb is. I don't even know what it is. Go watch that episode.
That's your homework, the pipe bomb or the drifter.
Research both of those things.
Go watch the pipe bomb. Sarah, where can people find you online?
You can find me at Sarah the Rebel. Sarah's an H because that's the only way to spell it. Check your bibbles. You can also find me on Twitch and on Instagram. You can find me and on Patreon.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go. Perfect.
Same, if he's not funny on Twitter, that black nerd on Instagram.
He is.
If D's on everything. Also my personal stream. I've been streaming more, but I'm not doing anything till after tomorrow.
Perfect. As for me, Jurassic Alien, that's Twitter, Instagram, all those kinds of things. Go hit that up. And go to the YouTube channel. We have a lot of cool stuff happening over at Hyper on the YouTube channel. Become a member of the Patreon, because if you're a Patreon member, we get to cut a promo on you wrestling style. And we're kicking around some ideas for those patrons who want a wrestling promo sent to them. We'll cut you good. We'll pipe bomb you.
Cut you
We'll cut you real good.
Damn it with the goddamn pipe bomb. And Janelle, where can people find you?
At Janelle Santa Cruz on Twitter and Instagram, and plays TV as well. And Jay Santa Cruz on BattleNet. Play a lot of Overwatch. So I'll be on there streaming and stuff soon. And if you want to be my friend, go ahead and add me.
Yeah, you could jump in the Discord. A lot of people like playing some Overwatch. You get some fans.
Yeah, I have my own Discord as
And
well.
you have a Twitch too. What's your
I do have a Twitch. It's same Janelle Santa Cruz at Twitch, and it's all there. It's all connected.
Oh, nice.
Everything's
All my
connected.
social medias is connected.
All right, y'all.
Well, until next time.
Stick around, because
Thanks,
they got
guys.
Cineverse coming up next.
And I'll see you at SummerSlam.
Ready to ramble?